6 truths empaths need to realize about narcissists. Are you an empath? Have you ever interacted with a narcissist before? Anyone who is an empath can attest that empaths have a high tolerance and high drive to help and save people. A fake that becomes more pronounced because of the empath's sensibility to other people's emotions. Anyone who has dealt with a narcissist before can confirm that they may seem charming, but manipulations, energy draining, and abuse are often part of the narcissist dynamic. It is not a good place to be, especially if you are an empath. But it is difficult to live due to the mental and emotional gymnastics the narcissist does to keep their victims in a state of emotional control. 6 truths empaths need to realize about narcissists. Are you an empath? Have you ever interacted with a narcissist before? Anyone who is an empath can attest that empaths have a high tolerance and a high drive to help and save people. A fake that becomes more pronounced because of the empath's sensibility to other people's emotions. Anyone who has dealt with narcissists before can confirm that they may seem charming, but manipulations, energy draining, and abuse are often part of the narcissist dynamic. It is not a good place to be, especially if you are an empath, but it is difficult to live due to the mental and emotional gymnastics the narcissist does to keep their victims in a state of emotional control. Empaths are the narcissist's preferred source of fuel and energy because empaths are easily manipulated through their compassion and sensitivity. This is why many people remain in relationship with narcissists for many years. But these relationships are also difficult to live because the person or empath is unwilling to face certain truths about themselves and the narcissist that will shatter the illusions and fantasy they have created with the narcissist. Unfortunately, these truths need to be addressed sooner or later if there is any hope for the empath to get their life back on track. For these reasons, we have gathered 6 truths that empaths must acknowledge about narcissists and themselves to free themselves from the narcissist's hold. Number 1. Your needs will not be met in the covered contract. Have you ever looked up videos or information on empaths and narcissists? Have you noticed that in those videos, most of the times, they don't say anything intrinsically negative about empaths? This can be a problem. Empaths, much like any other persons, are humans that have their own internal issues and problems. Glossing over these difficulties makes the empath believe that they have nothing or little to work on in order to become a better version of themselves. It also makes it difficult for the empath to break away from a relationship with a narcissist. The underlying issues is referring to is the belief that empaths have that if they do something good for someone, then that other person should do something good for them in return, and that they do not have to tell this other person this as it is supposed to be implicit knowledge. These unwritten rules are difficult for the empath to acknowledge because they feel unworthy of having needs. In order for the empath to heal and have healthy relationship, it is important for the empath to look at its underlying belief, fix them, heal them, and start speaking up more. The truth is that the empath needs nor anyone else needs will be met by staying silent and expecting others to read your mind. No one is the same. Not everyone has the sensibility to sense what other people need as empaths do. Number 2. You can save them. Have you ever thought that you could help a person if you only gave them something? For many people that may be the case, but not for the narcissist. Although narcissists, just like any other persons, do need healing, they will not accept it. At least, not in the way that you expect and want them to. The narcissist will accept the energy you give them but only feed and leech off of it, giving nothing in return. This is because narcissists do not want to be helped or healed. Some don't even consider themselves to be broken, which leads them to not seek help at all. And narcissists are fine with the way they are. Even if they put up an act, they truly don't want your help. They want your attentions, love, and energy to feed their ego. You can't help or save someone who doesn't want to be helped or saved. To accept help, a person first needs to acknowledge that they need help in the first place. Then they need to decide to not only seek it, but also accept it and integrate it. In here lies the decisions to change. When you acknowledge that you need help, it is also acknowledgement that something needs to change, usually something inside of you, for the outside to change as well. Narcissists do not want to change. Usually, something inside of you for the outside to change as well. Narcissists do not want to change. Instead, they will try everything in their power to remain steadfast on their own belief while manipulating and shaping others for their own needs and entertainment. This is the reason that empaths cannot save narcissists. Narcissists will never accept to be saved because they don't think there is anything wrong with them or they are comfortable with how they are. Therefore, they don't seek or want to be changed or be saved. Number 3. Emotional thinking keeps you trapped. Emotional thinking is whenever someone concludes that their emotional reaction to something defines their and its reality. Any observed evidence is disregarded or dismissed in favor of the assumed truth of their feelings. With emotional thinking, a person may feel the exact opposite of what is presented in front of them. Besides making you believe that your feelings make a tough or situation true, the problem with emotional thinking is that it makes you turn away from facts and evidence. Number 4. Narcissists are disordered and morally bankrupt. Have you ever met someone morally bankrupt? If you have dealt with a narcissist, you probably have. Narcissists are often called disordered and morally bankrupt because they do not think or care to uphold what normal people call morals. They will also keep you on edge as to what they will do or who they will be the next. This mostly happens when they are not getting their supply met or are trying to rein you in again. Number 5. It's all a fantasy, it's not real. An empath relationship with a narcissist is all a fantasy. It is a fantasy, firstly, because the narcissists themselves live in their own fantasy world. Since reality doesn't support their grandiose view of themselves, narcissists live in a fantasy world propped up by distortions, self-deceptions, and magical thinking. They spin self-glorifying fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, attractiveness, and ideal love that make them feel special and in control. If the fantasy is threatened, they use denial to keep it alive. Number 6. The fact that they abused you means that whatever came before was not genuine. Have you ever wondered why someone who loved you would hurt you in such a way? Well, the truth is, if it's a narcissist, they never loved you in the first place. Narcissists will always manipulate due to their lack of empathy. The same lack of empathy is what drives them to try to control empaths every step of the way, from the beginning to the end of their relationship. Although hard to accept and see, these 6 truths are some of the things empaths need to acknowledge about narcissists and themselves in order to move forward, start living a healthier life, and heal themselves.